Still not. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Adith Emmanuel on this first Friday. It's May already. I still have my snow brush, though, in the trunk of my car. I'm really hopeful, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. So we're delighted on this first Friday that we have our youth choir, who sang beautifully with Noah Aronson, and we're going to hear them. And they're actually not here just to sing at us. They're here to lead us. So when they do their singing, we invite everyone here in the congregation to join in. Also on our first Friday of the month, we celebrate people who are having a birthday, celebrating anniversaries, or maybe there's another special event in your life, or we also think of those who are going to be at the cusp of becoming bat mitzvah, so mazel tov to Caroline and the Nesevich family when you'll be called to the Torah tomorrow, and everyone can come at the service 10 a.m. tomorrow. As we turn now in our Siddur, in our prayer book, to page 128, we have our choir lead us in Hine Matov. How good and how pleasant it is that we are here together.
Hine Matov, Uma, Naim,
Siddur to page 121 for the lighting and blessing of our Shabbat candles. It's my pleasure to call to the Bima Caroline Nesevich and her family, her immediate family, who will be helping with the lighting and blessing, page 121 and 120.
give light to all who behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
And we continue now with Kiddush on page 123. So family can stay up here as Caroline shifts over to the other lectern, and I pass the Kiddush cup to her.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit hi hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh seher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kadsheha ve'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat.
Amen. Fine.
Everybody go sit with their phone. If you don't have time, what you say, you'll be met.
And so, this is the portion of our service where we offer one another blessings. Sometimes it's known as the family blessing or the children's blessing. And if you want to follow along, the words are on page 603 in the brackets. And sometimes parents put their hands on children's heads or shoulders or... Now, you might not be here with your children. I'm not. But we can think of us all as B'nai Yisrael. We're all part of the Jewish community, and so we offer blessings to one another in this paragraph that's at the bottom of page 603. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. And sometimes this is where the hug or the kiss or the shake hands comes in. Shabbat shalom. And I invite our youth choir to come back to the stairs as we turn in our Siddur to page 138. Page 138, we're welcoming in Shabbat with Lecha Dodi.
ושמות תפארת ולחילה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכוונך, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשוך, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה.
Rise and face the entrance.
בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וזהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה. פני שבת
And while we're standing, we take a moment to turn to somebody, perhaps not the person next to us, if we already know that person, but maybe somebody behind us, in front of us, across the way. We introduce ourselves and greet one another Shabbat Shalom. And if you're watching through the blessing of technology, participating with us tonight, please feel free to say Shabbat Shalom in the chat and perhaps share where it is you're joining us from tonight. And so we turn now in our service to the Baruch Hu, and in doing so we take out our Shabbat song sheet. Yours might be yellow, it might be blue, and we're on the side that says Shabbat song sheet, and we're looking at Baruch Hu by Noah Aronson. We continue on page 267 in our Siddur, 267 with a Shema.
Adonai Elohecha b'chol livavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha.
Ve'hayu havarim ha'ele asher anochi metzav ha'hayom alevavecha.
As we turn now in our Siddur to page 270, we sing that song which our ancestors sang just after they went through the parted sea of reeds and knew then at the other side that they were safe and they had reached a place of freedom. We continue on page 271 as we read together. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We turn now to our tefillah on page 273. As we are able, we rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah rav le'oshia. Rori atah, Mechayel chayim ve'chesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, umatir atzurim. Umechayeh emunato lishenei afar, bichamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech. Melech me'mid umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'chayot achol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shima kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
May be seated. As we turn to page 278, in the middle of the page we join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue our prayer now in silence, whether we are led by the words on the pages of our Siddur through page 285, or other prayers throughout the prayer book, or those meditations and thoughts in our hearts. We turn our thoughts and our prayers now to those who are in need of healing, and so we turn in our Siddur, in our prayer books, to page 371 in the brackets. And if there's someone whom you're thinking of who is in need of healing, those who are here in the sanctuary will have a chance to add those names after I share those who are in our extended Addith Emmanuel family who are in need of healing. If you're watching through the blessing of technology, feel free to write those names in the chat at this time. We send our blessings of healing to Marlene Kaplan, Robin Schaefer, Amanda Fink-Krasner, Deb Nielsen, Alana Selman, Moshe Ben Elizabeth Theodore, Rosalie Middleman, Jennifer Ness, Marcy Gittler, Mel Klein, George Goldstein, Harriet Eisner, Carla Teisch, Linda Drachman, Chaim Ben David, Eileen Davison, Craig Davison, Hugh Morton, Art Bond, Roberta Levine, Jordan Steinberg, Lisa Galda, Ed Crosby, Myra Kaplan, Jeff Schaefer, Lulu Rivuela, Marion Gwertz, Aaron Tepper, Lily Tepper, Louis Alahut, Tricia Tepper, Carol Schaefer, Mary Mednitsky, Jocelyn Jackson, Jen Jones, Shirley Friedlander, Michael Infanti, Gary Garnick, Ann Marsden, Rick Ulrich, Ileana Cohn, and others whose names we might add at this time. I invite you to rise in place and say their name aloud as my hand passes through the sanctuary.
Lucy Nesovich.
Eddie Bacalari, Maurice Williams. Carol Levine.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim.
Shebeirach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeirach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
At this time, I invite anyone celebrating your birthday or anniversary or other special life event during this month of May to rise in place. And if you're joining us through the blessing of technology, feel free to stand at home if you feel comfortable doing so. God of our days and years, author of life, our times are in your hand. We thank you for the blessings of life and for all that enriches our lives. We gather today in special thankfulness to share in the happiness of those celebrating their birthdays, anniversaries, and other life events during this month of May. God be with them always as the joy of their lives. May they be blessed with health and happiness, and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. May they have the joy of coming together for many more years, united by mutual reverence and love. And may these milestone events remind us that as we may count the days of our lives, a person of wisdom also makes every day count. And so we join together in our prayer of gratitude, the Shechianu, as we say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Shechianu v'kiyamanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh.
Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov. Ye'elanu, Ye'elanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Ye'elanu, Ye'elanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov. Ye'elanu.
And you may close your books. And at this time, I invite anyone who counts themselves as a child, could be somebody who's not yet become B'nai Mitzvah, could be somebody who's not yet graduated from high school, it could be someone who is just so youthful at heart that you want to come sit on the bima for our story. All right. And if you decide in the middle of the story, I should really be sitting up there, it's okay, you can come up in the middle. So we are, during this period of the Omer, that we're counting the days between Passover and Shavuot, and this coming week, we're going to be celebrating a mini holiday known as Lag BaOmer. And Lag BaOmer, there's this custom to light bonfires, and there are multiple reasons why we might be lighting bonfires, but one of the thoughts is that we are illuminating our world with Torah, right? We're working our way toward Shavuot with the giving of the Torah, and Torah lights our way. And there was this one rabbi by the name of Shimon Bar Yochai, who actually, just looking at things, he could set fire to them. Not in always the best way, but he learned to balance that out in life. And here's his story. See, there were 3 rabbis who were living during the time of the Romans. And as you know, the Romans didn't always treat the Jewish people so nicely. And so one day, 3 of them were talking, and Rabbi Yehuda said, you know, it's really beautiful what the Romans have done. They have built marketplaces and bathhouses and bridges. And in that conversation with Rabbi Yehuda was Rabbi Yossi, who said nothing, and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who said in a little bit of sarcasm, he said, yeah, they've just built those marketplaces to get money from us, and they've just built those bathhouses to pamper themselves, and they just built those bridges to collect tolls from us. Well, you know, sometimes word gets out, and the word got out, and it got out and out and out, until it got to none other than the emperor. So when the emperor heard what happened, what did he do? He promoted Rabbi Yehuda. He sent Rabbi Yossi out of the country for being silent. You know, we know sometimes being silent, what's your opinion? If you don't speak up, one way or the other, you have to speak up sometimes. But to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he was sentenced to death. But first they had to catch him. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai hid in the yeshiva with his son, Rabbi Eliezer, and every day Rabbi Shimon's wife would come and bring them food and check on them, and they stayed there, and they were very serious studiers of Torah, but Rabbi Shimon began to worry that maybe the Roman officials, would capture his wife and torture her and make her tell where they were, and he didn't want anything to happen to her. So Rabbi Shimon and his son, whose name was Rabbi Eliezer, they left the yeshiva and they went to hide in a cave. Now, it was a miracle. Inside the cave grew a carob tree and a spring of water magically appeared so that they were able to eat the carob and drink the water. And they were in this cave for 12 years. 12 years. And they didn't want their clothing to wear out. So what they would do is they would take off their clothing, but they were studying Torah, so they wanted to be appropriate, so they would bury themselves in sand with the sand up until their necks, and they would have conversations about Torah all day with their heads just above the sand. And then when it was time for their prayers, they would come out of the sand, they would put their clothing on, they would pray, and then they would go back and study, buried by the sand. And they would eat the carob and they would drink the water. And like I said, 12 years they were there until one day they heard the voice of none other, Elijah the prophet. And Elijah the prophet came to announce, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the emperor has died. You are free to come out of the cave. Well, they were thrilled. So Shimon Bar Yochai and his son Rabbi Eliezer, they came out of this cave 12 years later, and they went walking around in God's world, and they saw something that they didn't quite understand. You see, there was a person plowing the field and sowing the field, and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was so upset. He's like, look what they're doing. They're not engaged in Torah study. They're not doing God's work. And his vision looked at this and set the field on fire. Another miracle. And a divine voice said, Bar Yochai, you come out of the cave only to ruin my world? Get back in the cave. You're not ready to come out yet. And so Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Eliezer, they go back in the cave for another 12 months, which is only a year. And when they were ready to come out, they came out with a little different attitude. And they were walking around and they were looking at God's creations, and all of a sudden they saw this man. He was running. It was almost Shabbat, and he was running, and he had 2 branches of myrtle. And Rabbi Shimon says, why are you running? And he said, it's the Sabbath, it's Shabbat almost. And why do you have 2 branches of myrtle? Wouldn't one be enough? And the man said, well, I'm here to honor Shabbat. And so one, you see, is for Shamor. The other is for Zachor. Shamor, keep Shabbat, and Zachor, remember Shabbat. And Bar Yochai said to his son, see, Eliezer, see how people have remembered God's laws and how they are honoring Shabbat. And so from there, Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai were able to look at things in a different light and see that perhaps all of God's creation was good, and what the people were doing was maybe not just what might appear for themselves, but also to honor God. The end. And so we turn now in our Siddur to page 586. 586 at the bottom of the page. We rise for Aleinu. Oh, it's Let Us Adore, right? 587. Let us
ever-living God,
the ever-living God,
and render praise,
and
throughout the world. Adonai is our God, there is none else. V'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'modim, livnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad.
Our thoughts turn now to those who are no longer with us, and so we turn in our Siddur to pages 598 and 599 as we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. During this period of Shiva and Shloshim, we remember Leroy Tompkins, brother of Bill and Gail, uncle of Michael, Ben Lippitz, friend of Shayna Goldberg, Mary Parker, mother of Scott Parker and Cindy, grandmother of Alex and Ryan, as well as those who died at the season, whose yahrzeits we mark on the Shabbat. Claire Antonoff, David Goldsmith, Irving Greenberg, Richard Grossman, Saul Kaufman, Kate Margolin, Nora Mittman, Melvin Morris, Aaron Solomon, Haskell Samost, Edwin Schaefer, Freda Shapiro, Faye Schulman Winkler, and other names that we should add at this time. If you'd like to add someone's name, I invite you to rise and say their name aloud. And if you're watching through the blessing of technology, feel free to add the names of your loved ones in the chat at this time. We invite all those who are in the period of Shiva and Shloshim to rise at this time, as well as those who are in the first year of mourning to rise at this time. Those who are observing a yahrzeit on the Shabbat to rise at this time. And we think of them and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be a blessing as we all rise in comfort and support, continuing with the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudasha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, ta'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say, amen. May be seated. And it's my pleasure now to invite to the Bima Diane Singer, our synagogue president, to share with us a few hodaot, a few announcements. This is out on the
Thank you. Oh, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, sorry. Little fachad. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Rabbi Mamis Fowler, Cantor Sandy, where are you? There you are. Lucas, Youth Choir, for leading tonight's service. Thank you, Judy and Karen, for greeting this evening. Special mazel tov to Caroline and her family for Caroline's upcoming bat mitzvah. And as always, a special thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. Please join us tomorrow morning at 8:45 for Torah Talk and Bagels, followed by our 10 o'clock morning Shabbat service when Caroline will be called to the Torah in honor of her bat mitzvah. Sunday is a busy day. There's a men's club blood drive starting at 9. At 9:30 is a B'nai Mitzvah planning panel. Also, Afti's going to Hershey Park. And in the afternoon, Afti 3-4 is sponsoring, if I'm correct, a slime and gaga event. I don't know quite what that is, but maybe Jessica can explain in the oneg. Okay. Wednesday morning is Rabbi's monthly responsa class. All are welcome, whether in person or online. Mark your calendars. Next week is a week of sisterhood events. Starting with Friday evening, it is Sisterhood's annual Shabbat. They will lead services. Sunday morning, May 14th, is Sisterhood's annual flower sale. Tuesday the 16th is trivia night. And Thursday the 18th is Dining for Dollars at Pizza Uno. So come support Sisterhood. It's a week of fun events. Also, in honor of the 25th anniversary, there will be a special celebration Sunday, May 21st, from 11 to 1, including a barbecue, special treats, dedications, a burial of a time capsule. Please take a moment. There will be these forms, hopefully, by the time you get to Oneg. Or somewhere. Oh, they're in the lobby? They're in the lobby. So what we want you to do is please take a moment, fill out this form, sharing your synagogue memory or event that was meaningful to you in the last 25 years. Okay, and we'll put them in the time capsule. All right. Tonight's Oneg is in the social hall. Hopefully you'll stay for a few minutes and socialize with your fellow congregants. And lastly, tonight's thought, it's kind of based on memories. A moment may be temporary, but its memory is forever. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Our closing song can be found on our song card. It's called Ufaratzta, and it's on the bottom of the front page.
Anana,
continue now with the Motzi. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon, and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
So, youth choir, after you get your piece of challah, can you guys each one of you grab one of the music stands and put it back behind the baby, please?
Jossie.
Yeah, I got it.
So if you can scoot that back a little bit, I'll move these out of the way. Thank you.
What time tomorrow? What time does the service start?
Service starts at 10.
So then,
At 9:30 in case there's anything you need to go over. Do you want to make earlier? You tell me.
Well, the other day I dropped all the music that you put into that binder fell out, so kind of. Did you send me a list? Order sheet? Is there an order sheet?
Not a regular order sheet, no.
Okay.
But there is something that I put together once upon a time.
Maybe I'll get here at like 9:15.
Okay.
Is this okay right here? Can I just leave
Yeah.
this out? Sound good?